4,
What happens
3,
if I start cussing
2,
like
1.
25 seconds before I pull it out?
Bob's getting on the microphone.
Wildly uninteresting. Sting. Welcome to the show, Wildly Uninteresting Podcast, number 39.
39.
Welcome to the show, 39. We're getting up there, but now we're not 100. We're like a quarter of which we could be, right? Ish.
You know, man.
Welcome to the show. We're a thought-provoking show. We used to be uninteresting.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of interesting.
Think about now. We're still uninteresting.
Wildly thought-provoking.
Wildly thought-provoking.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So how was everybody's Christmas?
Out there thinking like a capuchin.
Christmas.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's
you
wonderful.
know it was good. You were there.
I was there. But I wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, you know?
I thanked you.
Oh,
Thanks for my
man.
presents.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
great.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Man.
So
Yeah,
Ian
come
got
from the
me
heart.
the brand new album, Science Fiction,
Nice.
Yeah.
as you all know, and now you
Well,
know.
I Thank you. I appreciate knowing.
And when I leave for work in the morning, it's 4 a.m. It's dark as shit. It's quiet as shit because I'm the only one in this area alive. So it's creepy. I always assume there are killers and deer and rabid animals everywhere. So
and at least a quarter mile of dead neighbors.
For sure, yeah. At least. So I put this album in the beginning, this girl, she's talking about God only knows what. It's creepy as shit. I don't know what she's talking about. Stuff being inside of her and stuff, not in a perverted way, but in
She's
a
talking
monster
about dreams
way.
and stuff. And yeah.
I've never actually listened to the CD. I just picked up songs on YouTube and listened to it.
No, man. You got to listen to it as an album.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I did that, and then it starts out, it's all slow and kind of eerie, and I was like, I'm officially creeped out. I wasn't even a quarter mile down the road, and I was like, I've got the heebie-jeebies. It's going to be a weird day.
Oh, the heebie-jeebies.
Freaking
Is that what you had?
heebie-jeebies. So I highly recommend walking to the car at 4 a.m. in the middle of the country and then listening to it. Sets the mood.
No, I'm good.
Nice.
No, it definitely works.
We were talking about the Irishman before the podcast. Have you seen it yet? The
No.
Irishman?
No.
Do you refuse to see it?
No. Why would I refuse to see it?
Because
I'm
you're a
just making
dick.
sure
You
but
refuse to
it's-
see a lot of
It's
things.
Scorsese.
Well,
Why would I refuse to see his shit? He's
I don't
good.
know, man. I was very into it. Like I said, though, it was drawn out a little bit.
No,
A
it
little bit drawn out.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that didn't think it was too long.
It's 3.5
What
hours
the
long.
fuck?
I know,
I
right?
know.
No.
How long was it?
3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me. I figured like it felt 2 hours tops.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
God.
3.5 hours long.
So does that give you hope for other longer movies?
Absolutely not.
God damn it.
In no way.
We can watch JFK again.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe
come
once.
I mean,
That's like-
I would watch it again, but I'd have to be ready.
Watching something about JFK would be just like watching Titanic 10 times in a row.
One,
No.
how it's
Titanic
gonna
is
end.
good. Two, anything with Kennedy is cool.
Well, he likes Titanic.
Anything at all.
Of course I like Titanic.
It sounded like you were shitting on it.
Don't
No.
shit on
You
Titanic.
said it in a tone.
No, I think
Billy
he's saying
Zane.
JFK would be boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
wait, he said
saying
he
that-
liked Titanic.
I'm saying
Is
that
he
you
lying
know
to
the
me?
ending.
Watching it 10 times and
That you know what's going to happen in the end.
Look,
Is what I was getting at.
see, I didn't get that at
No, I
all.
didn't get
Okay.
My sense of humor sucks.
No, I got you. Oh, and it was supposed to be funny. Okay.
Well, the thing about JFK, he's dead in the first... like, JFK's dead in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's just
Oh.
mainly about the investigation.
Yeah.
Wait, see, I've never seen anything about them, but
killed John
other than
Kennedy?
like dude being on the memorial wall now, which is awesome.
It's awesome.
Is
What's
that
his
like
name?
in the visitor center of Mount Rushmore?
I don't
Harvey?
know. Lee Harvey Oswald. I can't
Oswald.
say it.
There you go.
Oswald.
There you go.
You had it, just 2 letters switched.
He's on the memorial wall.
Which memorial wall?
Yeah.
The memorial.
The memorial.
Which one?
You know, Memorial Day, the memorial
The
wall.
memorial
Here we
wall. I don't
go.
know.
He didn't
Stupid
serve
ass.
in any war, though. I mean, it's like...
The fuck he didn't.
What war?
The Bay of Pigs in Cuba.
He wasn't
Cuba.
there.
You don't know that.
You don't know.
Yeah. Well, were you some general?
Added to CIA memorial wall.
He was in Russia at that time.
He was serving in the CIA too.
That's
he was
crazy.
CIA military.
The CIA
Allegedly.
memorial wall.
Yeah.
I think he was
Allegedly.
acting in the country's best interest or the union's best interest.
Right? It says he had been quietly added to the memorial wall.
Oh yeah, nobody even said anything about it until somebody noticed it and posted it on the internet. Like, what the fuck is this about?
That's fucked up.
Well, he was a Marine.
Yeah.
Was he?
I don't give a fuck what he was.
He definitely wasn't the only sniper.
He wasn't
If he-
dishonorably discharged.
If you're the one that they're pegging the assassination of a president on, I don't care if you have 79
But
Purple Hearts.
pegging,
79
pegging it
Purple
on
Hearts.
him doesn't
I think
mean
you can
that he
only get
did
one.
it.
Yeah, but that's
just
in
imagine the
history.
government pegging him.
He did it.
That's their way of saying, look, he didn't do it, but we don't want to
That's-
draw
that's where I
attention
was
to
going
it.
with it.
Yeah.
I can go
Like,
with
look,
that.
we were wrong. History will tell that he was a good man, but for now, he was a monster.
There was no way you could have made that shot through the foliage.
There is no fucking way that he could have made not only once but twice.
He's not Kobe.
Yeah, he's not
But
Kobe.
twice. This motherfucker is not Chris Kyle. You hear
Sniper
me?
Kobe.
Did you see the fucking rifle he had to use?
Yeah.
And then, hey, what about that episode of Bones where he was like, I could do it. I'm the best
I
sniper.
was going to ask what team he played for.
Oh, and he does it.
And he does it on Bones, so it must be real.
Bones.
It
must
must
be
be.
plausible.
I mean, some people have done it, but it takes a lot of tries just to get it right.
Yeah, he didn't do that
Maybe
shit.
they didn't have the right kind of bullet.
Oh, of course.
What about so I did watch the documentary, but it was like called The Magic Bullet, in which they said one bullet traveled into like 3 or 4 different directions, and the placement to which the back seat and the front seat set could have actually happened. I'm like, get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
But this is
His-
operating on the assumption that people of that time were fucking retarded.
Yes.
There's that.
It essentially, if it went in this direction and went
Those
through.
of you watching at home,
To
it's,
say
it's,
for those
it's
of
kind of
you
like
not
this.
I mean, it's like a down
It's
slant.
downward diagonal.
But
Everybody do it for each camera
Yeah.
so we know.
Yes.
I know.
well, it's the thing is like it's supposed to. It goes down in and then it curves up
Yeah.
to come out
Yeah.
his throat.
It levels out.
and then it hits the governor in the back, comes out the governor's rib,
And into
Yeah.
the wrist or
into the
something?
wrist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and nestled in his thigh.
Get the fuck out of
His
here.
final
And-
resting place.
And the bullet is not dented in any way. It's scratched up, but it's not dented.
You're telling this story with a straight face. Did you put on the fucking documentary?
No, I just know a lot about it.
Yes.
I love it.
That one intrigued the shit out of me because then you look at like 9/11, and I hate to bring that up, like I always
forget.
fucking do.
7.
But you look at that in comparison, it's like motherfuckers will believe anything,
Right.
anything.
Oh, they definitely will.
Yeah,
They won't believe anything.
They will. If
guarantee
you
it.
put it on the news
Guarantee
at
it.
6, they believe it.
If you put
Done.
it on the news that Trump didn't collude with Russia, people aren't going to believe it.
That's true.
Thank you.
Well,
But aside from that, yeah, I agree completely.
But the issue with that is that it's already knowledge that something has occurred. So if you had
It's alleged
said,
knowledge. It's as much real knowledge as it is.
I guess
that
I shouldn't say
Oswald
knowledge,
killed
information
Kennedy.
that's already out there.
Yeah.
So if you came at them and never said it, they're not going to just make it up on their own. They being
course
the
they
general
will.
people.
the general people.
Yes.
I mean,
The general
especially
people,
with
the general
woke
people.
culture, everybody's all
Yeah.
conspiracy minded, so people just want to come up with shit. Because for a while, like conspiracies were kind of sound in so far as conspiracies can be sound, but nowadays, you know this. Nowadays, people will just say anything.
They'll fucking say anything.
They want to be the next
Also,
one.
I want to revert back to the beginning of the podcast. Sorry
Fuck.
for our viewing audience, but we would like to welcome Zack Couch back to the show.
What
Which-
up, couch?
There'll be a picture and introduction.
Yeah.
But Zack Couch is back without his wife, which is strange. She kicked him out of the house,
Couch,
and
aka Farouk
Yep.
Shala Khan.
he comes to slum
They
down
got
here
a
with the
divorce
wildly
in the
uninteresting.
last month.
Can I
Yeah.
stay
So
here?
everybody, welcome
No.
Zack Couch back to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome. See, I should have done it. Y'all should have caught that. But
I
all
just,
If it was anybody but Couch, I would have.
oh yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
People know him.
But yeah, man, that's something I don't know. It's hard to say because I wasn't there, right? Just like when they say like the Alex Jones getting fucked up about Sandy Hook, and then he had to like revert back and say, "Oh, we'll fucking do it," and recant everything you said. But in reality, okay, we live in Louisville, right? That's all you know,
right?
Aside from the media or social media. So how do you know things happen if you think the same thing we talked about? How do you know a tree fell in the fucking woods if you
you're
weren't
not
there to hear it?
Right? You have no idea.
Is that right?
Well, you walk by and there's a tree on the ground.
But what if that tree was always on the ground and it never
It
fell?
Did it grow on the ground?
Anything is
I don't know.
possible. It could have.
But
you have no idea.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is...
But is it probable?
Yes.
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
I guess what I'm trying to say
No.
is how do you know anything's public? Like, how do you know that there's crime on the East Coast if you've never been there? How do you know?
Yeah, you're not there watching it happen.
Real.
How do you know that the alligators are overrunning Florida if you're not there watching
Right.
these
That's what
alligators?
Florida is.
An
It's like saying
alligator?
the Mexicans aren't overrunning Texas.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, the media can
Mexicans are
show you that
alligators.
Cuba's bad and it's all fucking just running rampant and there's
seeing a
people
little
just
stick.
murdering and killing. But
Right.
how do you know if you're not there? They can tell you anything about a European country or Canada or
Right.
anywhere. And you don't, how do you know? We fucking live in Louisville with a bunch of other fucking redneck hicks that don't know shit about the world.
Right.
What are you supposed to do?
Yes.
Fly and figure it out?
There's an exception to that. I believe everything I've heard about Australia.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I believe everything.
The bugs are 12 foot long.
Believe it, 100%.
I saw a spider once with a cat for a leg. Australia.
Australia. Did you know
shit.
that people in Australia shoot up their liquid methadone?
Oh,
They
yeah?
they sell specific like filters and stuff to do it because it's so incredibly dangerous. You have to filter out a bunch of like the additives and everything,
Yeah.
and they fucking shoot it up. Yeah,
Nice.
that
What
is
happens
not
when
a
you have
thing
it
that
not
happens
good.
here.
Yeah, that's not fucking good for you, man. I know people
Right.
who have shot up Suboxone, which the drug is made to deter people from shooting up.
Right.
So why would you shoot it up?
Right.
It has an adverse effect.
I
some
just
people I just
missed
don't
the
get.
act of it.
Yeah,
I tried
water.
shooting up Nicorette and it just jammed up the needle.
Nicorette.
Sometimes I just want to shoot up some aspirin.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
God. But you're totally right. Like, we're not there watching shit happen, so we don't know that it's happening.
This sounds
Yeah,
like
you
some
just don't know.
Brandon Eason shit here.
Brandon Easton.
Eason.
Don't get
Easton,
mad because you can't
Easton.
talk.
Jason.
I'm sorry.
No, man.
It's hard to not get mad about not being able to talk.
I think there's just a lack of study and a lack of just like the flat earthers. They don't want to band their money together and shoot a rocket into space and see if maybe.
Right.
I mean,
I think that's a great idea.
you got other independent companies doing it, like we talked about Sierra
Yeah.
Nevada and SpaceX.
Boeing.
They're all independent companies. They're privately owned. So why can't you be like, I'm a privately owned idiot that wants to shoot a rocket into space?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would
Our
you have
name
the
is
proper
Flat Earth
paperwork?
Corporation.
Does Sierra Nevada and SpaceX, don't they use NASA facilities for their launches?
Oh,
See, I
you
don't know.
what?
I thought they did it.
I will look.
I thought they did it by themselves, but see, NASA is putting on the competition, so I
Yeah.
can see how that could be. Because I think that Sierra Nevada is using their landing strips to bring back their shuttles.
Yeah, I know SpaceX
NASA's
has
trying to get that Red Bull dollar.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying? Like, so why wouldn't they, band their money together? $40,000-$50,000, get a private plane, just one of them 1-man, 2-man planes, and go fly to the Arctic and see what you get. If you die doing it, at least you die a hero amongst the fucking flat earthers,
don't
you
know,
piece of
man.
shit.
Take your GoPro with you, find
Oh.
that ice wall.
No, you can't do
Find
GoPro.
that
Did you hear
ice wall.
they banned that? That's they can't use GoPro when they're looking in space, and I think because GoPro causes a curve because it's wide angle.
okay.
They refute it. They're like, that's not applicable. Is applicable
They
the
can
word?
refute that, but why don't they look at fucking shadows?
Man, I don't know. Shadows like on the
Shadows mean
moon.
Nothing, come on.
Ugh.
On the moon. Shadows on the moon. Shadows where?
Yeah.
Where's shadow?
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
The fact that shadows exist say that there's a ball.
We we watched a documentary
I
about
don't know
flat
the science
earthers, right?
behind it. I don't give a shit.
Because we wanted to know. We want to inform ourselves of what the fuck's going on, right?
Right.
So they were like, at the whole fucking documentary was a build up to this last project of theirs. It was an experiment where one person's here, and then 10 miles away they had another person, and they both had flat boards with holes in them. Same height, same distance off the ground. They were like, if we shine a light through this one and we can see it in that other hole, then that means that the earth is flat. And sure enough, this whole buildup, and the fucking light was not visible. It was like, what, 40 something inches away from the hole. And they were like, oh no, cut the film. There has to be something wrong with this fucking. They were blaming it on the experiment. They were like, this experiment must be wrong.
Yeah. We messed up somewhere.
Maybe they're right.
They're fucking.
Whatever. They're stupid.
Hey, I give it to them. Like, question everything. Because, okay, I was wondering this morning, I was reading Jordan Peterson, right? I'm wondering, like, what is it? Why is he getting so famous so quick, right? So big, and everybody's in tune and trying to, like, eat up everything that he puts out. I figured it out. Because we have such a unintelligence level in society right now, where everything's just being thrown out there, fake news, just bullshit, like Facebook and infinite scrolling and videos that don't fucking matter. Well, everybody's starved for the intellectual portion of life. So what do you want to do? We want information. We want to get smarter. We want to know. We want thought provoking. That's where I got that from. So they're just eating it up because he's the only one doing it. You look at everybody else and they're just jumping on the bandwagon, like that lady with on the GQ interview.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
She was writing a book about
there is a section
women's rights
of people that want the intellectual pursuits, but I'd say more people just want to more people just want to feel like they're smart, rather than to actually be smart.
So, okay, what determines smart?
Well, it's like they want to play a video game, but they want to play it on easy.
Yeah.
So they
And
can
then
kick ass.
So good.
Yeah. Oh, look at me, I'm kicking ass, brother.
Instead
What's
of
that said on?
spelling ass stuff.
I don't know, whatever it was said on out of the box.
The most difficult, easy thing.
Well, it says
that there
easy,
is.
and it doesn't naturally set to easy. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can wrap my head around that because that's what I told her is like I have a lot of bad habits. Especially when it comes to like trying to learn and say, if it gets hard, I quit. I'm like, fuck it.
No.
Aside from electric, because it just makes sense to me. Other than that, like anything, math and all that, I'm like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's true for everything though. Like, look how many instruments you can play.
Right.
And,
I have to be interested in it.
Well, that has nothing to do with intellect.
Right.
You came up playing instruments, so it's just ingrained in you.
Right. And then that learning and memorizing and stuff. But I guess what I'm saying is that want to be smart, but not knowing the direction in which to go to get smart to a level that you can be okay with yourself to what you consider smart. And I've realized, I'm starved for it too, man. Like, I've read, 3 chapters a day alone, just because I'm interested. I want to be better as a person. So how do you do that?
Right.
Couch, how have you managed to stay stupid?
Basically ignore everything.
Yeah.
But you are right. They are utilizing NASA.
So
shit.
that's why the flat earthers can't launch a rocket. NASA won't let them launch a rocket to prove it.
They're actually going
That's
to
right.
a NASA facility for testing and then going to another NASA facility for launch.
Ooh, plus they could just set up military on the ends of the earth, and if people get too close, they just kill them.
Exactly.
Like, oh, we're genocide. That's what genocide is all about. Protecting the ends of the earth.
The ends of the earth.
It's so silly.
I don't know, man.
Mass murder.
I didn't know that. That actually
murder.
throws a huge wrench
Yeah.
in the game entirely because are we not allowed to create our own launch pads and buy a big ass piece of land?
Well, I mean, if we succeed, then yeah. But if you fail, it's like suicide. If you succeed, great. They can't do anything to you. But if you fail,
Your face is going to be fucked up.
yeah.
Plus, the government can always find a reason to basically say, hey, we don't like
try
what
to
you're
fly to
doing, and we're going
space
to
face
pop you
first.
for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Be like, talking about getting the compound and, not having hooked up to the electric grid or the water companies. I mean, eventually, you said the government's going to come after you. It could be the same thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, you get too close to something, they're gonna silence you out.
Ooh.
I guess, and if you're not on their agenda, which I can understand in a very corrupt and powerful world, how if you're not on the same agenda as the most powerful in their direction, they're going to silence you out. Wouldn't you if you had that much power? I probably would. I'd be like...
Even if, like, there's a sleepover and there are, like, 7 people and like 3 of them don't want to watch the same movie that I want to watch, I'm looking at ways to bring them down.
Right?
But that's understandable.
How can we fuck them up to get the movie I want playing?
Yeah. And that plays out once you add money and greed and power and all that shit. And then add respect in there, too. People start fighting over the dumbest shit. It's like that movie, The Irishman, we were just talking about. And Sarah was like,
God,
"Do you
if
think?"
You spoil it, I'm gonna kill you.
No, do you think the
Jimmy
way
Hoffa dies.
You bitch.
He also says cocksucker a lot.
A lot. Do you think the way they? She asked me, "Do you think they actually talk to each other that way?" Because it's very childish, and you know what I mean when they're like,
Hey, you fucking
doing a hit.
cocksucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
It's real
childish.
silly,
Oh, that
too.
cocksucker.
And they're like, "Oh, I think he's serious." I'm like, "Well, I would have taken that as a joke in these days, but I guess back then." They said minimal so that
Yeah, the Scooty Boomba over here.
Do you paint
is that what
houses?
they say? Do they say Scooty Boomba?
I don't remember Scooty Boomba.
No one has ever said that. ever.
Nobody.
They
in
weren't
history.
really like
No.
Italian mobsters, really. They were just sort of like...
Every mobster is
Oh,
Italian.
the working class.
Really, really. Watch
Yes.
The Departed.
I've seen The Departed. Everybody is fucking...
Hey, who wrote the Departed?
What
Who
accent
directed
are we talking
that?
about?
Scorsese.
Italian.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
Scorsese,
why I
yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Where do you think the Boston accent comes from?
See, hold on.
The Irish.
The Italians.
No,
Bullshit.
the
The
Irish
fuck
when they
outta
came
here.
over.
Hey,
Oh, you're just trying to disrupt the system. That's what's going on.
I see through you.
I don't know.
Disruption.
Fuck out of here,
Get the fuck out of here.
Boston. This cocksucker.
But
Also Boston.
It's an Irish thing, man.
I'm horribly inconsistent.
You
in
are.
my,
That's awesome.
my accents.
But I didn't know, up until recently, until we got David Lynch, watching David Lynch, and me being interested in who directs and who has a say-so over a film. It's pretty interesting because, until you brought David Lynch to my attention, and even Scorsese, I couldn't tell you what they look like. I didn't know David Lynch was
A fucking dude.
the hearing guy. What the fuck's his name?
Oh, Gordon.
I didn't
Gordon
know
Cole.
that. When I looked it up, I'm like, shut the motherfucker up. But now it's funny though because they don't get I don't think that they get the respect they deserve as far as you have like these A-list actors that fucking can't go nowhere, but then you have this director that's fucking intelligent as
You
shit.
get the respect of people that actually are intelligent, pay attention to movies.
Right.
You don't get those fuckers that are going to like popcorn movies on opening
Right.
night. Like, oh,
The mass population.
the mass population.
Okay, hold on though.
But you
You
get the
went to
people
go
that know
see
what they're
Jumanji,
doing.
okay?
I didn't go to see. That was him.
Okay,
didn't-
you went
I-
to go see Jumanji. Okay?
Actually, I
right,
waited
yes.
for it to pop up on Stars. That's when I
Oh,
watched it.
okay. Fair
Still
enough.
went to see it in your
Yeah,
fucking living
yeah,
room.
exactly.
I thought it was him though. So now it
You
just
saw Star Wars.
blew me away. You saw Star
I
Wars?
saw
Some
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Damn it.
Star Wars is an underground sci-fi adventure.
Underground, he says.
You know, my father showed me that film when I was a child.
Oh, I just thought you were talking about the part of the movie where they're underground.
God damn it. No.
This is ridiculous.
But up until you brought like Lynch to my attention, and like knowing that Scorsese, all the stuff that he did, which I didn't know Departed was on that list. I need to look more into it. I'm not saying that I know them all.
I mean, he's
But-
made like 1,000 movies. So
Yeah.
just pick one and he's probably done it.
It's a good chance.
But it just
Mean
amazes
Girls,
me.
Scorsese.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Shut the fuck up. See, you'll have me believing whatever on that.
I don't
so
know who
I'm
directed
news-
that one. I know Tina Fey wrote it.
What about
Babysitter's Club,
Casino?
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Shut the fuck up. See it. Maybe that I need to watch more Scorsese, or maybe I've seen them all.
You've seen them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, aside from Couch and like Fowler and shit, I've noticed in general not a lot of people know directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit,
no.
they sure as shit don't care about writers.
You know, and that's sad though that we live in a time where they don't get as much respect as I think they should. But well, maybe they like it that way too, so that they don't have to be in the limelight. They don't have to interview.
That's everyone remembers the person with the face, that's on
Right.
the screen. That's
Although that's
okay.
silly,
Well, they
though,
clearly
to
did
think
it.
that anybody gets into the entertainment industry like without the desire to just get mobbed by everybody and get their dick sucked all the time.
That's why they get into
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's why I
Writer,
would get into it.
Gaffer,
for sure.
doesn't matter. If you're in
Hey,
the industry. you want it.
When I was looking up Christmas presents, we had left, which I settled on a T-shirt. But I looked up David Lynch meet and greets, right?
Right.
So think of this: like, dude is like this super successful director, and I looked at his meet and greets. My God, they were expensive, and it was for a show in 2016, so he hasn't had one since. But my God, they were like above $1,000 a ticket. It was crazy. I was like, well, I don't like him that much.
Right.
Of course, there wasn't another one to be had, but
Yeah.
you know, that $1,000. Think about how many people would do that.
There's a ton of people that
Yeah,
would
if
do
I
that.
had it, I'd happily do it.
yeah.
I would not.
I would not. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Even if you had it,
No,
let's say you're a multi-millionaire.
No.
You know-
No.
I'm
Oh,
not
you
paying
wouldn't on
$1,000 to say hi to someone.
No, no,
Really?
no. You're
Right.
guaranteed 7 minutes with him.
7
I'm not
minutes.
Paying
I don't know if I
$1,000
could.
for
Suck
7
my
minutes.
dick. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Couch. We went to see Brother
Brother
Ali,
Ali,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they were $65 for like the VIP meet and greet, and just the thought of like, I was like 65.
Well, and you got all kinds of shit with it too. They gave you like an autographed picture.
Yeah,
I think
what am
there
I
was a
gonna say
shirt,
to him,
like,
you know?
That's exactly what I said. The
Right.
tickets were $20. 65 is not unreasonable, but I told him like, what would I ever talk to him about? Like, that's weird to me.
Maybe
That's
some
how
of
I
the
felt.
shit in his lyrics.
That's how I felt was like all those horror conventions, because basically you go and you pay $20 for them to sign your DVD,
Yeah.
or you pay $25 to get a picture with some of these B-list horror actors, and I don't even know what to say to them half the time,
Right.
honestly, other than like, "Hey, I like this movie."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've not heard that 10 million times
exactly.
in your life.
You know, or like, I think the one person I actually said something to was like Tom Savini, and I was like, "Hey, I really enjoy your work." That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
That's
Well,
it.
we fucking met
I
Matt
think that's good enough.
Skiba. I didn't know what to say to
your
him.
lyrics are so good.
Yeah, that's I love you.
Were you still in,
whenever-
did
Everything's
you have
weird.
this huge crush on him still at the time?
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah!
Okay, yeah.
100%.
But whenever I met Tenacious D, I talked to Kyle about
Son of a bitch.
Damn
Craig
it.
Kilborn and how much he sucks. So I mean, that was cool.
None of you relate to
Dude.
this, I'm sure, but Dave Matthews, like I
Yeah.
tried to get I was front row. I tried to get the attention of the guy tuning the guitars, like give me some picks. Mm-hmm. He was an asshole and he yelled at me. He was like, "I'm doing my fucking job."
Fuck you, dude.
Dave Matthews walked out and had a whole handful of fucking Dave Matthews picks and grabbed him by the leg and he gave them to me. And I've never been fucking speechless in my life, but
Yeah.
that moment I was like, how do you say? Because to me, that's Matt Skiba. That's
Yes, exactly.
Roman Reigns. That's David Lynch. You know,
Yeah.
that's my like just. What
That's
do you
your
say to
dude.
somebody?
Whatever
Nothing.
the fuck you want. I mean, I used
I
to
guess
have
so,
that
yeah.
mentality where it was like, oh, I'm starstruck. What do I say to this person? But you can get shit like from their work, and you can see what they're passionate about. Just fucking talk to them about that.
But
Yeah.
it's not a mentality. It's not like I think, oh my gosh, this person's better than me. I
No.
know they're not. It just happens in the moment.
I just say I think it's a
Sometimes
moment
shit
thing.
happens
Yeah,
and you
Yeah, but
can't
I-
when it
speak.
pop
It's
up.
just if you meet a person like that is no one. Like if I introduce you to someone, you're gonna
Speak into
find
the
something
mic.
to talk about pretty quickly.
Not always.
Of course,
Yeah.
not always. But, you know, assuming they're not like a shitty person, you're going to have common ground. And especially if you look up to like an entertainer of sorts, you look up to them, so you've dug into their work. So just start talking about something of that.
Yeah, but don't you think they've heard everything?
Exactly.
Right.
No.
Don't you think they
How
get
do you
fucking
shine
tired
through?
of that shit? I would.
I will tell you this, like Tarantino, he does not want to talk about his movies with
Right.
fans.
No.
He
Oh, really?
hates it.
Really?
Like he used to have a film festival. He
But
ran.
then with Tarantino, you know that you would talk about just wild ass off the wall shit.
Right. You could talk about other movies. Like
Yeah.
he'll talk to you about other people's movies. Like the film festival he had in Austin for, I think he did it for like 10 years. If you talked about, like, you could come up and talk to him and he would gladly have conversations with you. But as soon as you brought up one of his movies, he'd walk away from you.
Oh,
He's
no
like,
shit.
nope, I'm done.
That's awesome.
That quick.
Right?
Yeah.
See, I guess I could be that way. That's like when people get on Joe Rogan that just, they're not really up there and they're like, they're starstruck in the moment and they're like sucking his dick like, oh, you just so gracious and whatever. You're just like this and that.
You
and
take really good pictures of venison.
yeah, you can see it in his face where he's just like, well, let's talk about something else. Because they hear that so often, they don't want to hear
Right.
that they're good or their work's good or whatever. They just want to be normal to a certain degree.
Right.
They want to just talk shit to people. And that's why I think that once we do get, like subpar famous guests, I think we'll do fine because you're both shit talkers and me, I'm just going to be back here like messing with the dials. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I don't know what their problem is, man. Hot off like. You know what I mean? I don't know though.
know.
If I was famous, which I'm not, but if I was, I wouldn't want to talk about that either. I'd be like,
I wouldn't want to
it
talk
would get
to
boring.
people.
Yeah.
Of course, I wouldn't want to be famous either.
Yeah.
But
That's why she's not famous. She just doesn't have time
I choose
to
not
be
to
famous.
be because
I
I,
choose
don't
not to
like
be.
people.
I don't know, man. That's a rough one. But ever since you showed me Lynch, like I've been looking more into him and respecting the directors more because they deserve
Hell yeah.
a very, because the actors are pretty much robots in a certain degree. They're like, no, do it this way, and they do it until they get it right.
Right.
You know.
Who do you
Some
think
of
has
them.
more of an impact, directors or writers, on the movie themselves?
I'd say
Director.
I would say, okay, cool. I would just say, the writer, a lot gets changed. Have you seen those YouTube videos where they match the script up with the actual movie, and a lot of it's paraphrased and put together however, I guess, the director and the actor, they kind of play off each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can see the change in the script. So it's not, a set fucking thing.
Right.
How much worse do you think Social Network would have been if it had been directed by Tommy Schlamme instead
Tommy
of
Schlamme.
Fincher?
It wouldn't have been as good. I mean, Fincher definitely brings his own style to it that's really cool. And plus, you wouldn't have got that soundtrack from, whatchamacallit?
Trent Reznor
and
and
what's
Atticus
that?
Ross.
Atticus Ross. I wanted to say Atticus Finch, mainly because Kill a Mockingbird.
Indeed.
But yes, you wouldn't have got those two in there. So,
True.
yeah, it would have been very, very different.
Do you think you obtain more knowledge from fiction or nonfiction writing? As far as
I get more from fiction.
fiction? So fiction, I always
It depends
fuck this
on how
up.
you define knowledge.
Fiction is real life or fiction is...
Fiction is a
Fiction is
created
fake.
story.
Okay, I always get those mixed up
I
for
usually
some
get
reason.
more out of a fictional story than I do nonfiction because most of the time, I mean, nonfiction can get kind of boring because there's really no style, no
it's just like...
pizzazz, unless
just
it's like
here.
a comedian just writing a book. And
Right. That's one of the next ones I'm getting into is that Steve-O book, like which I'm going to do the audio book because I want to hear him talk the entire
Oh,
time.
yeah.
But that's something that I look at. But a lot of them are like autobiographies and stuff like that, and not really explaining. But I feel like if I could get into fiction, I just have a hard time comprehending all the characters, the setting, all that
Staying
shit.
on
Yeah,
track.
staying on track and remembering all of it. But it would open me up to creativity, I guess. In a sense, I'd be more creative because of the fiction aspect instead of somebody laying down scientific fact. Because I think even with scientific fact, you're in a box to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they put you in a box. Like these are the fucking way things go scientifically and mathematically, and it's like, well, shit.
It's like this is how we understand it.
Right.
But then there's still that gray area that they don't know anything about.
I've read the first chapter of the Alan Watts book you gave me, and you can tell with him, he's like, we understand it a certain way, and he draws from the Bible and from Hinduism, Buddhism,
Yeah.
Taoism,
all that good shit.
all that. And then, but you can tell that he's like, we understand it this way, but if you don't have an understanding that you don't understand anything at all, then there's no sense in trying to understand Christianity or religion in general, because we don't know. Nobody knows. So how can anything be fact, even
Right.
mathematically speaking, scientifically, any of that? How can you be for sure without knowing that there's an infinite amount of possibilities?
Right.
You know what I mean? Nah, I mean.
Not mean.
Not mean.
Hell yeah. There's definitely, there's a little bit of, I guess, wonder and curiosity to everything if you allow yourself to think that way.
Yeah, you gotta. Most people, I don't think, want to. That's why, like, we're in good company at the moment because I think a lot of it, like, that's what I talked to. We were talking. I was like, I like being around weirdos, and then he brought to my attention. He was like, "You're a fucking weirdo," and it didn't dawn on me because I always felt out of place, like around you, always trying to live up to a certain amount of weirdness, I guess, because I like it and I envy that.
Bring that weird or get the fuck away from me.
But you think about it, like all, and then Danner and everybody. They're just a certain degree of not thinking like normal.
Danner's not
people.
weird.
Danner is like the most normal
He's
person.
so fucking normal.
Okay, well, Ingle.
Oh,
Does that work out?
yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to live up to that weirdness to get out of a box because I felt, boxed into certain things. I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather just fucking, blow shit up and talk on a podcast and make money doing it.
Hell
Blowing
yeah.
shit up is cool.
Yeah, but it didn't dawn on me that I was a part of that weirdness until you brought it to my attention.
Silly goose.
But that's the way to be, man. Why like box? But most people want to be in that box because the understanding that there's an infinite amount of possibility just drives them fucking nuts. They're like, it has to make sense, or life's not worth living. Kill me. Like,
I had like a mental episode, I guess we'll say, for a few months about infinity and shit.
Okay.
And then I finally came to terms with it. I was like, okay, I'm good now.
I'm good.
But for a while, it was terrible.
What the fuck?
Would you care to elaborate?
yeah.
No.
Well, when you put it that way, like infinite, right? Well, you don't know if that's a possibility. Like that could be a lie as well. That could be a made up
It could be
concept as
nothing.
well.
Of course, it's a possibility, but is it a probability? Who knows?
Who knows? And I
I say
think
it's about 50-50.
tell me if that's not that's probably the funnest thing about life. And I didn't recognize until after the wreck how truly what is it called? Unexpected life is. Like I don't expect to wake up tomorrow. So today is fine with me. This podcast is great. Like, fuck everything else. If I ain't got a dime in the bank, who cares? Tomorrow may never come.
Right?
Fuck ya.
Fuck you. Fick.
You get what I'm saying? How do you feel about that, Couch?
Tell
I want to
him,
know your
Couch.
feelings.
Get him, boy.
I just immediately got "If Tomorrow Never Comes" by Garth Brooks in my head.
Me too.
Glad you were there with me.
So both of you can go ahead and leave the podcast
I
now.
know. And the thunder rose.
That's I was listening to the radio I haven't listened to the radio in forever, but they have a blocked off time specifically for Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
I think
Just
it's
like
5 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's blocked
Or every
off,
hour
dude.
on the hour, one station just will play Garth Brooks song.
What the hell?
I think it's 103.1
That's out of
every
control.
hour.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
I enjoy his stuff, but
fucking
but
stupid.
god damn it.
Talk about syndication, dude. That dude doesn't have to do another fucking thing in his life.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why he
he
goes
It's not
back.
all gold.
No.
but-
No shit.
Oh,
Come on, man.
yeah, and
Standing outside the fire.
you know what's crazy is nobody brings up the fact that he came up with an alter ego and a pop fucking CD. How about that? Nobody
Bring that
wants to
up
bring that
Oh,
up.
it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Life and Times
wearing
of Chris
booty
Gaines.
shorts and shit.
Booty shorts.
What booty shorts? Where
Oh,
did
that's how I envisioned it going.
Oh, okay. Nah, he was just being like reject Trent Reznor.
Yeah, it kind of fits with the wig.
Taking you so literally.
It's like, wait a minute, I missed that video.
Yeah, I want to see that video.
The fuck?
Let's search for it. Garth Brooks, if you got that
No.
Chris Gaines material out there, give us a call. Well, you got the booty shorts on.
You know the number.
Yeah, man, it's strange though. That infinite is something that Alan Watts talks about a lot, and it's funny. Like you said, to do it in his voice, and there's no way you can't. Like the way he writes, even Jordan Peterson, like you can see him saying it to you while you're reading. It's what it is. It's how they talk. But Alan Watts though gets off on. He gets off on tangents, like about the infinite and shit, and he'll get off on a little tangent. And it kind of, I have to go back and reread, of course, because my comprehension is terrible. But even with Jordan Peterson, I have to read a paragraph, make sure that I get every part of it, and I have to go back. But I'm getting better at reading. I found though, deleting Facebook has helped fucking tremendously, dude. I'm preaching this to everybody. Like, just delete it on your phone and then force yourself to download it every time you like have to put it, like I put the podcast out or that picture. It forces me to have to download it to do it, because if not, like this morning, it accidentally left it on the thing, and it's the first thing I went for.
You're just sitting there nodding.
Pretty much.
I've watched you do that for like 20 minutes. You're just
Paying attention to him.
I mean, I've got. He's making good points.
He's
I'm all
making
right with
good
it.
points. I can't argue about that.
I
What
can't.
the fuck?
It's amazing the productivity compared to when like before. Ask her, I would just like every second I got a chance. If I'm sitting there, I'm doing that. Well, now I'll go play piano, or I'll read the book, or I'll catch a chapter, or go write, or go drive and listen to some videos. Compared to mindless scrolling, and it, dude, the amount of self deprecation.
Yep.
Is that the word? Deprecation, right? The amount of hatred that you feed yourself from Facebook. Me, because I'm always judging myself against that other person, is insane, dude. When you get rid of that and you stop judging yourself on somebody's today and your yesterday, life gets a little bit better, because you're only trying to one-up yourself. Now you're not trying to one-up 100 people,
Right.
300, 400, how many ever people you have on the thing. You're not trying to one-up them or get
Like,
better.
Can we just live life?
Couch.
Yeah, man.
How miserable are you
Do
on
you-
social media?
Yeah, do you do Facebook?
Do I do anything on social media?
I don't know.
I don't really see. I see Kristen like post
Twitter.
stuff with y'all, but
Yeah,
Occasionally.
occasionally.
Yeah.
I'm not that miserable on it. I'm more a voyeur.
No. Break it down. Tell us about how miserable you are.
Well, I mean,
That's what we came here for.
you want me to go fully into my self-loathing?
Yes, please.
Yes.
It's just, I'll write a tweet, be like, oh, this is going to be cool and everything. It's, 2 words, no.
Oh God, he hates
I
himself.
hate everything.
Oh, look at him. He hates it.
hey,
Ian's going to rip on me. I hate this.
that's so you judge it against everybody that's on the motherfucker. Every time I write, it'll happen even before I post something. Like even with the podcast, like I'll be like, well, I'm gonna write this, but I'll be thinking of it, being like, and just shitting on myself. Like, no, don't write that. People aren't gonna attach to it, or they're not gonna get likes or shares. It's just this downward spiral of self-deprecation. That's how I am, anyways, because I always want to be better than who I am or who I could be. I want to be better.
I think being able to just accept the present, like,
it's hard.
would be fantastic. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
just being okay with, okay, cool, this is who I am.
Yeah, if you want to be better than you have been, then you have to stop trying to be better than anyone else.
Right.
Yeah. And say if you're focused all the time on being better than anybody, your focus is always, your thoughts are just, okay, well, how can I do this better?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
never, am I even doing this
Yeah, plus it's
appropriately or
yeah.
acceptable or anything? It's
It's
just
probably
better.
for the
Better.
wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it to better yourself. You're doing it to be
Right.
a little higher in the hierarchy, so to speak.
Self-assessment is super important, but in excess, it's definitely not good.
Oh man, I was thinking like whenever people are all like, "Oh, don't down yourself," don't speak negatively and all that stuff. I don't like that idea.
Why?
I think you have to crap on yourself, like, but don't take it personally, because you have to be like your harshest critic. Because
Right.
if you're not cutting down the worst parts of yourself, then you're just an idiot. But if you take it personally, that's how you get fucked up.
Right.
Because I was, it's like if people shit on me and I don't care, then it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
But if I take it personally, then I'm a bitch.
Well, how do you
And
know
then it
when
goes
you're taking
awry.
when you're taking yourself too serious?
Because you feel something inside of you,
yeah,
like that, it just kind of starts to bubble.
right. That
And then-
kind of like an anger
Yeah,
emotion.
it's there.
It's being your own critic is the same thing as assessing yourself. Okay, well, where do I need to improve? What am I doing okay? Where do I want to be? Like, that is being your own critic, because you're pushing yourself further, but all the time being like, okay, well, this fucking sucks. I suck here. I'm horrible. I'm ugly. My shirt's stupid. Like, that's
Yeah.
essentially taking it personally.
If you're relentlessly negative, then fuck off.
Yeah.
But, you have to be able to tear yourself down.
That's my problem. I'm relentlessly negative about everything about myself.
Well,
It's,
you
it's
just-
horrible.
Just about yourself,
You
or
should just have
everything?
a base
Yeah.
level of bringing it back down. Like if you get too negative, you say, man, I got a fierce beard.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there you go.
Yeah,
You're
but
back.
one side grows thicker than the other, and it bothers the shit out of me.
At least you got one thick side.
I've learned though,
Start plucking them out on one side.
There we go.
Yeah.
getting rid of that mindless droning through Facebook has allowed me to take the moment of silence to like, live in, like you just said, like wallow in my, not self-pity, but, what'd you call it?
Did I call it? I
You
just
called it
completely
something to do with self.
self-loathing.
Self-loathing.
Okay.
Like a certain amount of getting in there and wondering why, like, okay, well, why do I feel this way? Like, what in my past or what in my upbringing has caused me to fucking do it? So instead of like just a surface thought that brings me down completely, now it's a thought that I can dig in too deep and try to fix it instead of. So I think a certain amount of self-loathing and getting in there and trying to figure it out and living in that darkness to try to pick it apart and wonder, and I've done it a lot, and I come to Sarah, and there's times where I'm like completely depressed and trying to figure it out, and there's times I'm happy because I've figured it out, and I'm
Right.
like, now I can work, now I can get to the bottom of this. But without, it's amazing what getting rid of Facebook has done in the last I've been serious 4 days.
Has it only been 4 days?
Yeah, because I've gotten through like 7 chapters and 1 chapter in that book, and just like every
That's
morning.
insane.
That's like 6 chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that, yeah.
But instead of rolling over in the morning and grabbing that thing before I get up out of bed, do any of that shit, which I'm gonna start writing right after that I haven't done, but I can't bring myself to do it yet. But I grab the book and I'm like, I force myself to read, even when I don't comprehend it that well. I'll just go back and reread later.
That's
but
crazy.
dude, it has made me so much happier.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a lot longer than 4 days. I feel like because you've done so much shit.
Yeah, in the last 4 days, man. But without Facebook, without that boost of serotonin and shit, like I can do more. It's harder than fucking going through the thing. It's a lot harder to force yourself to do what you're supposed to do.
Right? Do things
know
that
how
are
mu-
positive.
Yeah, you know how many times I want to just fucking bring it up, and I'll go to the phone and bring up my phone like Facebook is going to be there, and it's not. And I'm like, what am I doing? But I am a drug addict, so I mean,
Right. You
I'm
gotta break the
predisposed.
habits.
Yeah. It's just, it's weird what it's done, man. And now I feel like I can work instead of, fucking
God,
around
soon
on
you're going to be
Facebook.
one of those assholes, though. You're always just pulling out a book.
Oh, yeah, in public and shit.
Yeah,
Just
Oh,
like,
don't
you're
be that
talking to
guy.
somebody,
Don't be that guy.
you lose interest, and
wearing
you're
a
just like,
scarf.
oh, I'm just going to start fucking
No, the
reading.
scarf's fine.
Yeah,
scarf's fine.
definitely wear a scarf.
You got the scarf.
always drink Starbucks coffee. And
Get
Who
some-
the
No,
No,
fuck?
Heine Brothers.
Honey, bro.
Local.
Who the fuck seriously just in the middle of somebody talking to them pulls out a book?
Ian.
I don't read.
Because that's just
true.
fucking shitty.
I just pull
I
out
mean,
my phone.
that is horrible.
Okay, let's put it, because I don't think do you do a lot on Facebook, or do you scroll at all through Facebook and shit? Okay.
Are you scrolling?
Now, what about this?
Scrolling, man?
What if you limited video games to Saturday and that's it?
What if you fuck yourself?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
That's my vice, is like mainly phone games. Like I'm
Do you
not
do phone games?
I'm not so much on.
I downloaded like the most recent update for like the iPhone or whatever, and it tells you
Yeah.
like how much time you spend on stuff,
Yeah.
and it pops down at the top. It's like you spent 5.5 hours playing Marvel Strike Force. I'm like,
oh, now it does it specific to what you're
Yeah.
doing.
It's
Before
like,
it was just screen time.
I don't like it because
Yeah.
it breaks it
Oh.
down within the apps and shit.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't look at
Yeah,
that.
between like the Kingdom Hearts game, Mario Kart, and Marvel Strike Force, that's
And they've
all
got-
my phone time.
But the phone has gotten so good as far as video games. Like, there's first-person shooters on there
Yeah.
in your phone.
And you're
Are you hearing what I'm
phone.
saying?
Yeah, Call
Yeah.
of Duty Mobile won the award for I think best mobile game this past year.
You gotta be
Really?
kidding me. And they're making a killing too, because there's some of those pay-to-play games where you're like, well, I got to get the next gun or some gems.
That guy.
what?
Yeah, pay
What,
to
pay
play,
to
buddy.
play?
Pay to
Oh,
play.
I bought Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, you did.
I would do it again.
How much you spend on that?
I would do it again.
$20.
$20.
It was birthday money.
$20 in serotonin right there.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. And
Well,
I'm
and
still
if you
riding
don't do
high
it
on
all
it,
the
though.
time, see, if you don't do it all the time, who gives a shit? If
Yeah.
it's something that you enjoy and you're not like,
Right.
Every time I
hurting
see
to pay
him,
your
I'm
bills.
pumped.
Right.
Like, this is the baddest motherfucker in the game, boy.
Yeah.
And that
And only Danner
That was
has him.
$20 well spent.
it's something that I
You
wrote
don't
down
fucking have
earlier.
him.
Nope.
You jealous bitch.
Nah, man, I got my $3 million last night. I'm good.
All right.
It's something that I wrote down earlier about as far as finding your own personal happiness. Like me, I'm upset because 3 years in jail and prison, because we calculated every time I went, and it come out to a little over 3 years that I spent specifically missing days outside in the world. And then once I got out and was free and clear, it took us 4 or 5 years to get back onto the track that we should have been in the first place. Mm-hmm. So I spend most of my time mad because my blueprint is different than where I'm at in life, right?
Yeah.
But your blueprint is, how can I make money, roof over my head, play the game, and just be happy living.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like, your blueprint's different than mine.
Yes.
Your blueprint's different than mine. Mine's different than hers. Ours aren't the same.
And how can I live comfortably until I die, hopefully young?
And comfort.
Getting late, but still.
Comfort would be, that's the best part of life. But I think it all depends on the blueprint in which you set out to achieve. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like that's why I've been so like negative and trying to like, with the Facebook and all that bullshit, is because I'm not where I need, or where my blueprint needs me to be. So you try to continuously do that. So
Have you heard the Jordan Peterson shit where he's all like, part of why people are so miserable is because they're not doing something that they should be doing, and they know it. And that's why they're not as smart as they could be, or like as good as they could be. And you're just kind of hiding from actually doing what you need to do.
No, I haven't seen it. Is it a video?
I don't know.
So they're just constantly pissed off at themselves because they know. But you know how hard it is to get out of that. You know you need to do something, but bringing yourself to do it is more uncomfortable than sitting there and just hating yourself. So why not just sit there and fucking talk shit to yourself?
Well, you can get away with that for so long, but I feel like eventually pretty much everybody has their limit.
Right.
They're like, oh, I can be a worthless piece of shit for so long, but, now I got to go do something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but what is that thing?
I don't know. It's different for everybody.
That's it. No, hold on. I got something for that. That's the
what?
question in which all lies. What is the something?
Right.
And that's what we're all trying to figure out. And that's the
I like
hard
that
part about it.
idea out of context. What is the something?
What is the fucking something? Like, once you're like, okay, I'm dead set on getting better. Okay, well, what?
Yeah. How?
Yeah.
What's the first fucking step to get to that better? So that's one of the hardest things in life, is finding that first step, or finding that direction in which to go.
Right.
So sitting there and doing nothing or watching TV, dude, it's so much fucking easier. We've been doing it for the last year, since the wreck. We've just been fucking setting, because it's like life knocked us down. Now we're like, what the fuck? Where's the next step?
But that's where, when you're making plans to better yourself, you have to be specific. If you're not specific, then you're just aimlessly doing shit.
Yeah.
And what's the point in that? You might as well sit on the couch.
That's pretty much my
That's
life,
kinda-
just aimlessly wandering
like
around.
that's kind of how I find direction with things, though. I don't really set out to have a certain thing. I just kind of wander about in the dark, and then it's like, oh shit, that feels like an orange. I'll follow that.
Yeah.
The universe is giving you a path.
But that's I think that's the hardest part, really, and that's what I told her. I was like, I don't know what it is in which my blueprint wants me to do, but I might as well fucking do it all and figure out which one I like the most, right?
Yeah.
So like the podcast, once she's out of her company, we're gonna start a morning show with me and her, and then doing those videos with you, like somewhere along the line, and then us like playing music eventually. Somewhere along the line, we'll find something that I'm like, oh, it clicks. That was it. That's what all this workup was for. But it doesn't come overnight. Like, I was listening to Kevin Hart interview, and he was like, I've been in this fucking game 25 years.
Right.
I've only been famous the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's not a fucking overnight game.
No.
People need to get comfortable with not a lot happening for a while.
For a while.
If you think about it, like cooking a turkey,
Right?
it's not done immediately. You got to sit there and wait on that bitch. There's not a lot happening,
Yeah.
but it's more cooked than it was an hour ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's something that when I was having those
turkey
troubles,
sucks.
and we went
Thank
out
you.
driving to that spot that I pray and talk and all that shit.
The hill?
Yeah,
The
the
hill.
hill, man.
Yeah.
And I was having all those issues, and you talked to me like, you gotta just pump the brake. Like, the shit just don't happen overnight. 35 will get here, you'll figure that out. 36 will get there, you'll figure it. Because I was having troubles, man, and I had to talk it out. Like, I'm fucking.
See, I feel like that
Freaking
shit
out.
kind of ties into the idea of using social media too much, like on your phone with the scrolling and shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it feels like you're moving, like you're doing something, but you're fucking not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm always occupied. As long as I'm occupied, I'm doing,
doing
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm keeping in touch with people.
I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Look at me. Yeah.
Well, we watched the interview with the dude who invented infinite scrolling, and he said he didn't realize the impact that it would have on people's lives. And I mean, you could literally forever scroll.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
mean-
what I do on Reddit all the time.
Yeah. And if you if you get into the videos, if you keep scrolling and it comes into the videos, you can just keep it just puts that away and then brings up more videos of a different sort. And it's like, what the fuck, man? And it knows you better than you know you.
Right.
So it knows what makes you tick. So it just keeps feeding you what it knows you want. Fucking AI.
Exactly what I thought. Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour. I don't know. That's my take on the whole Facebook and all that bullshit. It's been a learning process to get away from it. It's hard. Yeah, especially for somebody who's predisposed to addiction. Like, it's rough to get away from.
Hell yeah.
But I assume everybody has those things that they.
It gets less terrible as I get older. So I'm starting to think the key to life is just becoming an old man
I guess.
No.
or woman.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what road you go down.
No, becoming old does not sound fun whatsoever.
No, well, physically, no, but mentally, it's fantastic.
Oh, mentally, yeah, that's awesome. So
I
much
think-
wiser than everybody else. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't care about anything. If you want to be filthy, nobody cares.
yeah,
how
but then
I
you got to
am
worry about that
now.
new hip and then that trick knee and
Trick me.
Yeah, and then they give you pills.
Yeah.
And then you
That's
have
what I look forward
Then you have an
to.
excuse to hit people.
That's
prescribe me them shits.
Yeah.
we were
Zonk me, doc.
we were watching The Irishman. I think that's why I was so mad at the wreck, is because if I'm gonna die, I'd rather not die like in prison when they're old as shit, or
Right.
in life old as shit, can't walk, can't do none of that. I'd rather get shot in the back of the head by a mobster without me knowing, because then it's over.
Where's me money, you cocksucker?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
What
go.
is that? That felt a little
That was a
Cockney
little-
toward the-
Yeah, it's very Liverpoolian,
Yeah.
like Cockney.
It's all the same area.
poor parts
Just
of
give up.
England.
Nah, I'm not gonna get
Give
this.
up on life.
It certainly was closer to Irish than your Boston and Boston accent. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
You'll get better.
Maybe.
Keep practicing.
Yeah, I probably won't.
Nah, just keep going for it.
You can
All right.
Yeah.
Just keep there. Just stay in the suck for a while, and then you'll get better.
Yes.
Stay in
Hey,
the suck.
have you watched The Witcher yet on Netflix?
No,
Ooh, I passed it the other day. I was gonna watch it.
No.
All right, we'll
No.
watch it. But it kind of
Okay.
gave me a life-changing perspective.
on
And
Henry
the-
Cavill.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
But that's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
On dwarves. all
Okay.
right? So
Life-changing perspective on dwarves.
Let's hear it.
Right.
I want to see what your take on dwarves
well, like I
is.
never realized that there are dwarves all around us because they have midgets playing the dwarves.
Okay.
And a midget is just another word for a dwarf.
Okay.
So that never clicked with me with regards to like fantasy and stuff. I think of a dwarf, I think of like a little stocky, like fucking buff ass little bearded thing. But regular humans, well, I mean, I guess smaller humans of regular make can play dwarves
Yeah.
Yeah.
effortlessly.
Yes, they can.
That blew my mind.
I like that this is your life-changing.
Well, first
Following
off,
what
first
Adam
off,
just said.
you have to specify between dwarves and halflings there. I mean, halflings are just the regular people.
Halflings.
Dwarves are the bearded, stocky little dudes hanging out in mines, trying to get all the metal and their gold and whatnot.
But okay, so halflings are shorter though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there half of a dwarf?
I thought they were half of a man.
Half of a man, yeah.
Not quite a man.
Uh-uh. It would
They're
be like a
hobbits.
fairy.
Well, see, a lot of that camera trick, the hobbits are fucking.
Yeah,
It's
normal-sized
just a
people.
camera trick.
Elijah
They're
Wood
normal.
is really that short.
No, man.
His feet are really that furry.
Mm-hmm.
The only
They're
time
really
they're that short
furry.
is in Harry Potter when they're in the bank with those the bank trolls.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's a
Green
bank
Gots.
in Harry Potter?
Yeah, man. Green Gots.
man. You
What
kidding
the
me?
hell?
I hate
I've only
them.
seen the first one.
I know.
Never
So
read
is
any of
Sarah.
them.
I made Sarah watch the first one, and I
Yeah.
guarantee she don't remember nothing.
And that's
from it.
why you're secretly
remember a
up for
little bit.
divorce.
Yeah, I just don't know it yet.
You know, Harry Potter is one of
No,
those series where
you're doing it to me.
Yes.
Harry Potter is one of those series where even though the movies veer away from the books, the movies are still good.
Yeah, they're really good, man.
Fuck you, by the way.
Fuck you, bitch!
You
The
know,
Rum Diaries
Yeah, I
is a
know.
horrible
Defend
movie.
yourself.
It
No,
is a
no, no.
horrible
Make your
movie.
case.
I listened to it. By the way, thank you for putting it out on Christmas. Me and Kristen had something to listen to when we drove down to Franklin. Anyway,
Hey, he put that shit out. I didn't do anything.
thank you. Thank you,
you're
sir.
all so welcome.
You guys are a
Anyway.
unit.
No, fuck you, though.
Fuck you, though.
It's a good movie.
No, it's
He's
not.
just trying to draw
It's
the
a solid
attention away
7
from
out
this
of
shit.
10.
No, it's not.
Easily a
It's
7.
a bullshit movie with this stupid story that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, if you're a fucking idiot.
All right, run me through what the Rum Diaries is.
The Rum Diary
remember.
is
You're
what the
drunk
movie is
when I was
about
watching.
is this journalist who's just aimlessly, not knowing what to do with his life, gets a job in Puerto Rico at a newspaper down there, and ends up hanging out with a bunch of degenerates getting drunk.
Oh,
See?
The movie.
Sounds great.
That's the
in theory.
in the movie, yes. And they eventually, he comes across the plight of the Puerto Rican people and how he wants to write about it, but the paper won't let him. And then also they want to band together to put the paper out and blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're going to band together and do things great. Oh, we're so awesome. That's not what the fucking book is. The book is about these drunk degenerates that push it too far and everything gets fucked up and they murder a guy. and everybody has to run away. That's what the book is.
That's
and
awesome.
they completely changed it in the movie.
And they completely change it in the movie. It's basically, hey, we have this setting and these characters, and we're just gonna do whatever we want.
Yeah, so the plot's completely different.
Exactly.
They changed the story.
That's my beef with it. The plot's completely different.
No.
And
But you
this
see, my beef with that is it's like you want it to be true to the book, where it's like, here, make this book a movie.
That's
and-
changing the plot. That's the
matter.
story.
That's
is
changing
different.
the plot.
Nah.
It does matter.
Was there nothing left of the essence of the book?
No, there wasn't anything left of the essence of the book at all.
All right, so as an adaptation, trash.
Yes,
But as a movie named something else,
it's cliche.
Would it be okay?
It's cliche as a movie.
But it has Affleck.
What's
Oh,
cliche?
God.
No. Affleck can do wrong.
He was only good in the
Phantoms.
town.
Yes.
But beyond that,
Hey, you know what he
oh
was.
yeah, the
Phantom.
Daredevil. Yeah, but he was the bomb in Phantoms.
He was the bomb in
He
Phantoms.
was the
yeah.
bomb in Phantoms, but
Wasn't he?
the movie was trash.
Wasn't he Batman at one point as well?
He was an awesome Batman, but the
Yeah.
movie sucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
He has the best line in Batman v Superman. I like them shoes. Best part of the movie.
Didn't he ask Aquaman if he could really talk to fish?
I think he did in
I think
Justice
he
League.
did.
Yeah.
That dude.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That dude
It's
has
all
gotten
one big
way
shit
too much
movie.
attention. Jason
Momoa?
Momoa, yeah. Good God.
He was on Baywatch back in the day.
Oh no shit. When he,
With
I
short
guess when he was
hair?
younger. Huh.
He had short hair. He's a model.
Damn it.
Interesting.
But yeah. Now he's Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Sexy Aquaman, if I say so myself. But.
Yeah, but Aquaman's still stupid.
Yeah, it's a terrible because they put him up against the old cartoon when he has like the reins around the fish. And
Yeah.
he's like,
And his orange and green suit.
yeah, man, that's
And his
terrible.
Aryan blonde hair.
I mean, that could just be a shitty representation. Because I wouldn't want to fight him like in reality.
Oh, of course
Because
not.
then he'd have sharks on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Get a
and
shark
you're
in your
a
ass.
mere
Yeah.
mortal, so
A mere
Yeah.
mortal.
Indeed.
Yeah,
shit.
I don't know, man. I don't get into the superhero movies.
No.
I did right there at first, but man, they just kept pumping them out
They
like
just
a factory,
and they're
man.
still going.
I'd
make
fight
money.
Dormammu.
They do make a lot of money.
I'd fight Dormammu.
Who's Dormammu?
Dormammu.
Adidas.
I got a question though. When do you stop when do you start
Dormammu.
creating great movies not in pursuit of money? Why don't we create anything that just for the creative art instead of for the monetary
Well,
value?
you can, but you can't dedicate 5 years to it.
I guess not.
And not in Hollywood. Oh
Now
shit.
there are some movies that they definitely are taking losses on. They just put them out there for basically critical effect. Or there's movies that people will take a pay cut to do just because they're like, hey, I'll take scale to be
Yeah.
on this movie, which I think scale's like $5,000.
Oh.
So
And then sometimes they'll sign for a portion of.
I'll take
this
some of the
movie.
back end.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Robert Downey Jr. made most of his money off the Marvel movies on the back end.
Backhand. What's the dude's name? Fucking Napoleon Dynamite. That Heater.
John Heater.
He did that for less than $1,000, and he made all of his money off the back because it did so fucking well. They didn't think it was gonna be
Right.
Indie
No.
film doing that well. They didn't fucking expect.
I like the movie, and I wouldn't have guessed that it was going to be a hit.
No, and it just even today he makes money off of it. Even
If
today.
it makes $1 million,
That's crazy.
I'll be surprised.
Yeah, but that's just now they're bringing back all the old TV shows, which I guess. I hope Seinfeld never does that. I hope Friends don't do that either.
No.
That'd be a terrible
I
one to
hope
bring
that
back.
Too. It would be terrible to bring back.
There's
they're
been
gonna bring
The
back
hints.
originals are great.
Yeah, there's been
They'll
hints
bring
to
it
it.
back.
They won't.
They've hinted towards it. Either that or a movie.
No.
Ugh.
I really hope they don't.
I feel like Marta Kaufman, I think, said specifically, no, it's not coming back. HBO is pushing for some kind of real life reunion special or something, but
I
No.
can go with that,
it's
right?
not going to be a fucking show. They're not going to have new episodes.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
I
Seinfeld.
think I'll pass on
Curb
that
Your
one too.
Enthusiasm, that's all you need.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is awesome.
You know, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if
No.
I've ever watched that shit.
Sarah, you would love it.
I know. I've always wanted to watch it. I just never have. I don't know why.
I've only shown you that one part where, get up in that ass, Larry.
Yeah, it's it. I've never seen anything else.
The Office.
It's a great introduction.
They could fucking The Office. Is that still going on TV?
No.
Probably not.
No. They're talking about rebooting it.
I hope
Oh,
so.
God.
God
Y'all
damn.
didn't like
I
it?
know.
It went on 4 years too long.
Oh, okay. Well,
me.
I can go for that.
2 or 3.
I think Parks and Rec went on one season too long. It's that last
It
season.
started a season 2 early.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
I think so. But it's mainly whenever they got rid of what's his name out of the first. Yeah, they had
The
to get rid
guy
of
from
him.
Elizabethtown.
Yes,
Yeah.
the guy from Elizabethtown.
Hell yeah.
Workaholics was a good one until they made that
Until the
last
end.
season, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first 4 seasons were cool.
And
Yeah,
it
they should've stopped.
honestly, it killed the rest of the seasons for me. I don't even go back and watch the
Yeah, I
other
don't
ones.
even want to watch them
'Cause
now.
the last one was so fucking bad.
What is that though? How it completely changed my opinion of the first 4 seasons. The last one
because
fucking ruined the whole series
They
for me.
they sold
I'll
out.
still
and
watch it.
They gave big names on the show and shit, and they sold out
Right.
just for ratings. Fuck
Come
that.
on, Jack Black as Brother Dad was awesome, though.
Brother Dad. Oh yeah, I'll give you that one. I kind of like that one. But then they had Dane Cook.
I'm
Yeah.
never a big fan of
That was
Workaholics.
terrible.
Oh, you didn't like it?
It's just
It's
not
so
for me.
stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just didn't care for it.
Sorry.
I mean,
It's one of those.
I'd rather
mindless-
watch The Good Place.
Yeah.
The Good Place.
I've only seen the first episode of that, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Watch.
Is Kristen Bell and Ted Danson?
Whoever
I probably
thought-
won't watch that.
It's
It's
good. It's
yeah.
about the
I
afterlife.
didn't have high hopes for
Yeah.
it, but after the
That's
first
all it's
episode,
about.
I'm like, "Fuck, dude!"
It's about ethics and the afterlife,
Interesting.
and
Ethics and the
they're in its last season right now, and it's only
Oh,
going to
good.
be
So
4
I could
seasons.
watch it start to finish.
Yeah, and each season only has 10 to 12 episodes,
Yeah.
and they're 20 minutes long each
Okay.
episode.
Pretty short deal.
Yeah.
Watch.
You're-
It'll piss me off that there's not enough of it. If I end up liking it, it'll make me so mad.
I mean, I think they're going to end it just right. I mean, because
Yeah, I've kind of become okay with shorter runs of stuff. Like, I would be okay with it, like, here and there, but, like, in general, I'm okay with it as kind of a pattern. You get more quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Instead
definitely.
of, like, there were 22 episodes, and 4 of them were kind of duty.
I can get behind a shorter series, but I just, because I watch things so quickly, whenever I like it, I need it to be like Grey's Anatomy. It's 16 fucking seasons and 23 episodes in a season. Like, that's what I need out of a show. Because I need it to take weeks for me to watch it.
Go ahead and restart Supernatural then.
I know.
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
Ooh. Supernatural, Criminal Mind, Grey's Anatomy, Bones.
SVU still?
SVU, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we watched every single one. Season 1 to 24.
When you paused, like, I had rolled my eyes, and I thought you were going to unleash it on me.
When they killed Stabler, I just lost interest.
I'm just upset. He should have been on it forever.
I don't care
Legitimately the
about it
best.
at all.
You know what's hard for people to do? Switch from TV shows to movies. But I like when they do it. Like Jennifer Aniston killed it.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot that transfer.
I thought you meant as a viewer. People are hooked on TV shows, but they won't watch a fucking movie.
Yeah,
Like,
Matt
I get it,
LeBlanc
but-
definitely failed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that movie he did with the
fucking
monkey?
Fell, dude.
Yeah.
Ed, that's it.
Yeah.
It is difficult
It had
though.
hard.
Especially when look at you being positive. It is difficult though, especially with a character like Joey. I mean, how are you ever going to be anything other than Joey? You have to really
Hard.
fucking try.
Especially with a
if you're
show
not a
that
good
did
actor.
so well. Like,
Right.
And he's not a good actor. Like Jennifer Aniston, of course.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's a great actress. And she's beautiful to boot. Like,
Right.
how can you beat that? But Joey, you're an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody
And
wanted
you're
him
not
to be
hot.
an idiot.
I don't know why he was the hot one.
He's Italian.
He was a fucking idiot.
I
Yeah.
never really found any of the guys in
How
the show
you
that
doing?
attractive.
No, not
I mean,
at
they
all.
weren't. Yeah.
If someone genuinely said that to me, I would laugh.
And honestly, like the women, I mean, they're okay. I mean, they're
How
not
you
like
doing?
absolutely beautiful, stunning, gorgeous or anything. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
It's just like going back and watching Friends. The thing that bothers me so much is just like, yep, okay, I know which season this is by the nipple indentions.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
he's
every
always.
time.
He's like
Yeah.
nipples.
Yeah, that's basically all the women are just like, yeah, we're up, except for Lisa Kudrow. Her nipples are never showing.
She doesn't have nipples. It's little known fact.
Oh, wow.
Little known
all right.
fact.
Yeah, dude.
Did she have a motorcycle accident or something?
Chandler's
Get rubbed
third
off on
nipple
asphalt?
was one of Phoebe's.
That's exactly what happened. How'd you know that?
I don't know.
It's fucking
It just
crazy.
made sense.
It's the only plausible explanation.
Did you know that there's a church? And I don't know where this church
Yeah.
is. You
Where
might
you're
want to
not
look
allowed
it
to
up.
have nipples.
No. They have a fight club.
Oh.
Like, they do MMA. Like
Loser
a night.
goes to hell.
They're fucking
Yes.
seriously, like, they have a fight club. They do MMA on, like, Saturday night, and then they meet Sunday morning and talk about God and all that. And the people from the church go watch. And, I mean, they got a legit setup in the fucking church.
Here's the blood of Christ with a little bit of Mike thrown in.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, but you gotta be ready for battle when the devil comes. And I'm like, damn,
Shut
how
up.
did they get away with this?
Realistically, that makes complete fucking sense.
All right,
you
no,
talk
it
about the
doesn't,
war,
because
the
you're-
war between heaven
you are
and hell.
not
If you're
doing-
not ready to fight a demon,
You are not
What are you
doing
doing?
jujitsu with a goddamn demon. It's not going to
how do
happen.
you know?
Yeah, the second you do
It
this,
seems to work for
you're-
Sam and Dean.
You are not going to grapple with it and choke it out.
Works for Sam and
Grapple.
Dean. And
You
they
need a
met
weapon.
God.
You
They've
need
got
a weapon.
magic.
You need a demon knife, and you know it.
They have a
No.
lot of magic on their side. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Where do you
suck a
think
dick.
Where do you think they got that magic, though? You gonna get magic without a little jujitsu?
What from
You gotta
jujitsu?
roll with the demon
Get
if
that
you want some
BJJ. Get
magic.
that demon knife.
Ridiculous. I thought it was obvious.
I've misunderstood the show the whole time. I get it now.
That's what they meant whenever they said Sam was going to law school.
Yes.
He was training with the Gracies.
Oh God,
It's pitiful.
y'all are ridiculous.
Whatever.
Transition.
I also watched this documentary about a female that is transferring into a male in high school
Oh, yeah.
Wait, were you trying to remind him of that?
No, I was trying to
Okay.
spell transitioning, and I just had to sound it out.
In Texas, high school wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
But
that shit.
they won't
No.
let her wrestle, her wrestle with the boys because on her birth certificate it says that she's a female.
Yeah.
And she hasn't built a dick yet.
Well, plus
I
she
guess.
just complained that one of them grabbed her titty.
Hey, I got a
I'm
question
being
though.
groped.
When you get the dick and all that, can you have it changed on your birth certificate, or does it say transgender?
I don't know. What if you're born
It
with
just
both?
has an asterisk.
What
You're
does it
definitely
say?
hermaphrodite.
Does it actually say the H on there?
I don't
on the
know,
birth
man.
certificate? I mean,
I
because if
would-
you're born with a vagina and a peen, I mean,
I
That
come on.
doesn't
think-
stand for hermaphrodite. That stands for hot ass baby.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Best of
think
both
what they
worlds.
do, which I don't know,
Let me put
but
it in myself.
BOBW, I guess. That would be
B.O.B.
instead of it.
Best of both
worlds.
I assume that they ask the parents. They would say, hey, like this sexual organ is more predominant. Do you want it to be a girl or a
Right.
boy? And they
Yeah.
would do that.
We're
I don't
taking one
think-
of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Choose now.
I think that's what they would put on there.
I'm kind of, but see, if for me to be okay with like the female wrestling with the males, I would have to be okay with the males wrestling with the females, which I do not
I'm
agree
firmly
with.
against that.
I don't give a
I
shit.
just
Let
don't
it
agree with it.
happen.
Of course you would.
Well, if you're talking about somebody like Ronda Rousey fighting Mayweather like she wanted to, that's different.
Mayweather
She's
would
fighting.
have kicked her ass.
You think so?
Yes, hands
It'd be
down.
fun.
Whoa,
to
whoa.
watch.
It depends on what style.
Well, first
Are we
off,
doing boxing style or are we
it's-
doing MMA?
even if it was MMA,
No.
he would beat the shit out of her.
No.
Okay.
Think so?
Mainly because Rousey is more of a grappler. She has no striking game. She has no striking defense whatsoever. Go watch the fight against Nunez. She gets her ass beat
Yeah,
bad
she did.
in about 20 seconds.
It happened
It's
real
horrible.
fucking quick.
It's horrible.
And then she went to WWE.
And she's good in WWE.
But what about
She's
the
not that great on
argument
the
that
mic, but she's good in
Mayweather
wrestling.
just plays defense?
Mayweather plays defense against more powerful punchers.
Right?
So he
is
points
he,
them
is he
to death.
strong offensively?
He can be. But he's usually going up against people who are stronger than him.
I think-
So he's basically pointing people
All right,
to
but
death.
then what is his grappling game like?
I don't know what his grappling game
Exactly, and that's why Ronda Rousey kicks his ass.
is. Okay.
I think
And then
we need
spits
to
in his
contact
mouth.
both of them and bring them out and do it
Nunez
in the
doesn't
back.
have much grappling game.
Yeah.
And she just basically punched the shit out of Rousey. Mm-hmm. Rousey, all she has is the goddamn armbar. That's it.
Yeah.
And it worked for her for quite a while because there was not much competition in the women's division. Which, I mean, give credit where credit's due. She did a lot for bringing women,
You gotta
like the
come
women's
up
division out.
somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's not that great when it comes to actual skill level.
No, she's just a big bitch.
It goes back to.
I mean, you saw like she just.
I don't watch
she
her
comes
fight,
up.
I don't
she
know.
came up against like any type of. If she comes up against any type of adversity, she falls apart. It's
Yeah.
like she hits a wall and that's it.
It happened instantly. It
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, she was immediately done
Why do you know this?
because I watched it.
High five up here. Do you watch any MMA?
No.
I mean, it's awesome. Adam, I know you don't watch much sports.
Man,
but,
I used to be real big into it, like with Iceman and.
back in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, and then it was just overwhelming to try to keep up with everything, and it just got so big, and it was so overwhelming to
Yeah.
keep up with.
It's a lot easier now that since they made that deal with ESPN. I mean, because the fights are like on every week almost,
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah.
we watch them at work every Saturday night. Like we watch like UFC fights.
That's awesome.
And we have this. One of my coworkers, she has a theory in regards to picking winners in the fights. She goes by nipple size and thigh size.
Oh, nice.
If those are equal, then she goes by bulge, and she's right 75 to 80% of the time.
She should
That's
start
pretty
betting.
solid.
Smaller nips means better fiter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
She
That
should
makes
start
sense.
betting.
Yeah,
Should honestly.
got the nip
Yeah.
bet.
No,
I
I
really like that.
I stopped watching it for a while, which I don't know, and that's what I was going to bring up. Like Rousey knew when to get out. Like she was like, I'm
Yeah,
out
because
of
she
here.
got exposed.
Yeah. Well, see,
I'm a fraud.
Going back to Chuck Liddell, man, he should have quit far before he ever did because he kept getting knocked out, and he made himself look bad. I mean, he was like the pinnacle of MMA, he was the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
he was a
Should have
legend.
known when to stop.
And then he kept getting knocked out, and it just sullied his name.
It's like when you hit the 4th knockout, that's when you need to stop.
Yeah.
If you've been knocked out 4 times, you're pretty much done because that, you don't want to take that much more damage.
No,
Why not
seriously.
stop at a 3rd, though?
I mean, you might have a chance to come back from that. I mean, there's some fighters out. There's one guy out there, Donald Cerrone. He's been knocked out like 4 or 5 times, but he's still fighting because he's a dumbass. He shouldn't fight anymore. Honestly, the last 2 fights I saw him, he got TKO'd in one fight mainly because he broke his nose and then stupidly he blew his nose. What happens when you seen what happens when that when you do that? His eye puffed up like this and completely closed shut from the swelling. It was
God.
nasty.
Damn it.
that.
And his
Because of
last
that
hurts
pressure.
me.
yeah, because that air has nowhere to go, so
fuck.
it goes.
Yeah.
And then the fight before that, he fought against a friend of his, and it was it was a 1st round KO. He lost, but his friend was basically like he punched him a couple times, like he's down, and then he's gonna punch one more. Looks at the refs like, "Hey, please stop this."
Right.
It's like I don't want to keep hurting him. And now he's gonna fight Conor McGregor in January.
shit.
And I'm just kind of bummed out for him.
See, I have watched Conor McGregor fights, and really, I'll watch them like the highlights and stuff. I don't really get into that whole drawn out. I think the last one we went to go see was what was his name? The wrestler that tried
CM
to
Punk?
Yeah, CM Punk was the last true one I watched. Now I just watch the highlights if there's a fight that I want to see. McGregor though, man, he's a sight to see.
He's fun.
He has a fucking attitude and he's a temper. He
Does have a temper.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, I liked all that madness he got into with like throwing the chair through the fucking windshield of the bus and stuff. Or the side mirror.
Almost ended a fighter's career.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the glass from the window broke off in somebody's eye and almost ended their career.
Damn.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd
He
been rough.
needs to
You
get
need
that
2
shit
eyes
under
to fight.
control.
Yes, you need 2 eyes to fight.
Plus, that person's rich now because I would have sued the shit out of him. No, I'm just joking.
She didn't. It was the female champion, the
Oh,
strawweight
nice.
division. She
You
didn't
wouldn't
sue.
sue the shit out
She
of
I
basically
know.
she got her medical covered.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he ended up ruining 2 fights that were scheduled the next day.
Damn it.
That both guys had to pull out due to injury.
Damn.
Then I know that Dana White fucking sued him. That's a big loss of money when you have a fight that doesn't go for an external reason other than you having to shut it down.
There were undercard fights, so he wasn't that bummed out by it.
Not that bad.
Nah.
So how long has a chick been running UFC?
Oh no, it's a
look at
man.
that. Yeah. Well done.
Right. Thank you.
He's got a
Yeah.
chick name. Yeah, you're clever.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
good.
that was
You-
real clever.
I was most
You should
proud
take this shit on the
Of
road.
Eat a
my
cookie.
straight face.
Right?
I've been thinking about it for 20 minutes.
Get a cookie.
You're stupid. That's
Open it up.
awesome.
Open it up. Come on. Open it up. Get a cookie.
Eat you.
They're not even open.
Oh,
I know
well,
they're
you're gonna break
fresh,
the seal.
bitch. Don't. What's the deal?
Break the seal.
All
Get a cookie.
That was another beautiful episode of Wildly Uninteresting with this fucking.
Episode 39.
There you go.
Wait, I
Oh
thought.
no, wrong one.
I didn't say that didn't help anything.
There you go. Now-
we were going to talk about.
All right, just the time.
That was episode 39 of Wildly Uninteresting Podcast with the
39.
beautiful Zack Couch. We appreciate you
Thank
coming
you
by,
for having me.
sharing the
Appreciate it.
moment with us.
Oh, by the way, answer a question. It was 14 months that we lived together.
Was it? Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, cool.
That was from
awesome.
last week as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Skibbity bop bop bop.
Shut up,
Skibbity
Whoop,
bop
whoop, whoop,
bop bop.
Wildly
Bibbidi bop.
uninteresting.
Bibbidi bop.